Good morning. Nick Markey here, physical therapist, online fitness coach. Going for a little walk with my buddy Snickers. Not feeling 110%. As you can hear, I'm pretty nasally. Probably got a little bit of a head cold, that's upper respiratory infection. I doubt it's COVID. But pretty much gonna lay low probably this weekend. Excuse me. So I just want to hop on here for a quick talk. If you don't know me, I've been a physical therapist since 2013 and online fitness coach since COVID basically. I was running an in-person gym before quarantine. Anyways, so I have a philosophy that actually kind of applies to the fitness and rehab and pain and nutrition, and I call it my lazy philosophy. And what the hell does that mean? So basically, to make a change, like if you're trying to lose weight or gain weight, you have to do something different than you're currently doing with your nutrition, right? So if you're trying to lose weight, you got to eat a little bit less calories. If you're trying to gain weight, you got to eat a little bit more calories. If you're trying to recover, rehab, some part of your knee, your back, or whatever, obviously there is a time component there that sometimes just time is moving it forward, but there's also a component of what you have to do to kind of push the needle forward, right? And then same thing with training. You have to do some, if you're trying to build muscle, you have to do some modicum of training to, more than what you're doing now, which is called progressive overload. Doing a little bit more in terms of, the whole thing, intensity, volume, whatever. So the reality is changing is hard. So if you're trying to lose weight, it's freaking hard, right? It's not like this easy thing. And then you got, a million critics and a million things on the internet, do this, do that, blah, blah, blah. Not to mention just culturally, the stupid crap people say. And so with all that being said, your body also doesn't really want to lose weight either. Like that's not a thing your body's like, yep, let's lose that extra fat. It doesn't care, right? So you have to actually go outside your comfort zone a little bit to change. And so seeing that change is already hard enough on somebody. I like to, when I coach people and also when I do physical therapy with people, I like to try to do the least or have them do the least possible to make that change. So I guess you can call that the lazy philosophy or the lazy method. But the way I figure it, if, say that if I do, a certain amount of effort, I get 80% of the benefit from that effort. And if I double that effort, I get, let's say, 5% more benefit. So like 85%. For most people, that doubled effort is not really worth it, right? One, you got more time. You potentially maybe risk, if it's like a rehab pain issue, maybe you risk flaring something up. If it's a nutrition thing, maybe you risk kind of going a little overboard, right? Those like crash diets and stuff where you fly down, the weight drops off super fast and then you fly right back up because it's just not sustainable. And the same thing with training. So the way I figure it is most of us mortals are not like an Olympic athlete, excuse me, or something. So trying to get away with doing a little bit that's going to make a change, I think for most people is much rather do. So like if they're doing zero exercise, whatever definition of exercise is for them, what if they started doing just 5-10 minutes, right? Now it's like, going to break the bank? No, but it's way better than where they are right now. So I think sometimes there's this like way too big of a bar, or people are sold this idea that there's this really big bar they have to get to, like you hear like 10,000 steps, right? But 10,000 steps are just made up by some dude. I think he sold stepper pedometer stuff. So whereas if you increase your steps by like 2,000, every 2,000 you're increasing your steps, you're actually making an appreciable change in your health. So in short, I would rather someone do just a little bit, my lazy way, 1, 2, 3 exercises or something, than try to like set up this whole grand plan of a bunch of stuff that then is like way different than their current life and isn't going to last, right? Or potentially isn't going to last. Some people obviously can make a big change in their life and carry it on, but a lot of times we don't. We give up. So in my opinion, the easier, the lazier it is, the more likely someone is actually going to be successful and keep pushing forward when things get tough, right? Things will eventually get tough. But if they only have to do a certain amount of things, that's not too much of a burden on them, even when things get tough, they're at a greater chance that they'll actually keep doing those things. So that's basically my lazy philosophy and method in a nutshell. What's the least amount I have to do to make a change? Certainly over time, you could, as someone is doing well, with something and consistent, then yeah, you can kind of turn up the volume, amp it up a bit, but don't jump that quickly into it, because likely, it's already hard enough to change from where we're at, and likely you're going to promote them wanting to, give up or whatever when, maybe things aren't changing as fast, or if, the motivation wanes, or they have a setback, or they get discouraged, whatever. As long as they have, small bar to pass, then they're far more likely to stay consistent and make that progress in the long run. So, I hope you have a great Saturday. Here in Wilmington, it's pretty nice right now. I don't know if it's supposed to rain or not, but it's pretty nice. So, wherever you are, I hope you have a great Saturday and the rest of your weekend. I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.